your beloved Boston Celtics kind of heading down the end of the line.
Not allowed to say that. Not allowed to say
that. No.
It cannot be publicly known.
Let's pretend that they have a limited window. In this hypothetical situation, is the CBA kind of like a reset for that organization? With the taxes kicking in a couple of years of the really harsh penalties, this is basically, allegedly, their last run at it over the next 2 years. Does this help a team like Boston for the simple fact that maybe under the last CBA they would have just kept extending and trying to run that that last ounce of luster from that organization, or is this a way of helping Boston reevaluate where they are and where they need to go next?
That's interesting. I never thought of it that way. That's sort of the harsh
luxury
tax.
You hear that, Beckley? Yeah. Interesting.
The harsh luxury tax sort of makes them rethink, are we really willing to pay Garnett and Allen again, even though if we pay them less? Are we really willing to commit, even $20 million to those guys? I do think, though, that to Danny Ainge's credit and to the Celtics front office general credit, they're very creative and they're very smart and they are very unsentimental, and they never I think that they never I think they set up their cap sheet this way thinking, even if these guys still look pretty good this year, we're willing to make this the end of the line for this team. Tax rules aside, whatever, new CBA aside, KG, Ray, we're willing to say goodbye to you unless you really want to come back on the cheap. And so
right.
the rules probably make that decision a little easier to make, I think, but I think that decision's been made.
And they've been talking about, people have been asking about Rondo and whether or not he's going to be around. He's got an incredible contract. Ainge did a great job with him back when he signed him a few summers ago. And my question is, after kind of the smoke clears and Rondo is the piece that's left, how do you build around a guy like Rondo? He's such a unique player in the things that he does and doesn't do. I have a theory that he could score 18 points a game if he was looking to, but I don't know. How do you feel about that and about him being just the best player by far on the team at some point?
See, I don't think they want him to be the best player on the team. I think they paid him that money.
That's probably smart,
and freed up their cap sheet like this, saying we don't think he is the number one player on a championship team. And there's no evidence that he is. I mean, he's not. He
right.
would not be the best player on a championship team. He is the weirdest player in the NBA, or one of the 3 or 4 weirdest players in the NBA. I agree with you that he could score 18 points a game, and I've been saying for years, that he should shoot more. He passes up too many shots. Not just jump shots. He passes up shots at the rim. He passes up floaters. He throws ridiculous high degree of difficulty passes that he doesn't have to. I think he's a wonderful player. I think I had him in the top 25, maybe 26. I think he's a little overrated, but I think he's a fantastic player. But yeah, I don't think I've been open about it for a long time. I don't think he's the number one guy on a championship contender.
Sure. Yeah, he is certainly a special talent. So it sounds like Zach sort of laid it out there. No team maybe is going to be as affected by the CBA as Boston, except for maybe Miami. Are there some other teams out there that, actually scrap that. New question, different question I wanted to ask you, and I just remembered it. The free agent market isn't great. It isn't that strong this year, There's no huge big-name guys coming off the books, I guess I'll put it that way. Who are some of the bargains that are going to be found out there? So not a Tyson Chandler or a Nene who are going to get paid and should get paid, but someone who might fly under the radar who could really add some value to a decent team.
It depends sort of what bargain, what sort of stratosphere of free agent you're talking about. I see people saying Thaddeus Young should only get $5 million a year, and everyone is down on Rodney Stuckey. And to me, on the sort of mid to high tier free agents, I think those guys can be a steal for a team that swoops in and just says, here's $8 million. Is that enough per season? And on the low end, I don't think that I have any names that'll surprise you. I think if he's ready to play, that Delonte West, if you can get him at the minimum, is a very helpful guy. I think Sean Williams. Sean Williams is another guy people talk about as like sort of borderline out of the NBA. If Sean Williams is like your 8th guy that comes off the bench, shoots threes, and last year I thought he actually, of all the Knicks, may have played among the among the guys that actually played pretty hard on defense. He's a helpful player, and everyone loves to hate Mike Dunleavy Jr. because he's so overpaid. He's got floppy hair. He went to Duke. He's a very hateable player.
It's a perfect storm.
It's like Eric Stoltz mask.
Now he's not overpaid anymore, and I don't know what he's worth on the open market, but like he's a useful player, and this goes against everything that I believe as a basketball fan. But if the Suns buy out Vince Carter, and he's available for next to nothing, guy can help a team that needs points. Look. Go back and read stuff I've written about Vince Carter. I'm not a fan. If you need points, look Hey, how
Matt
did
Moore's
Orlando's
punching his baby right now.
It's just a funny thing because you had to set it up that way. No, you're right. He's obviously a super skilled guy, and like he can make threes still, and he can run a pick and roll. If he's in the right situation and he's motivated, why not? Especially if you can get him super cheap.
If he's cheap too, who cares? Yeah.
Yeah, if he's cheap, he can come on. I mean, look, I hate to say this. The Celtics could use Vince Carter to play 15 minutes a game. I mean, there's just no question about it. They have a mediocre offense. They have no one backing up Paul Pierce or Ray Allen. He fits. Again, I don't like saying it, but it's true.
Well, we'll let you go out on that, Mark, and tell everyone that you are the biggest Vince Carter fan that I know. Yep, that's what you get. This is how we treat our guests on HoopSpeak Live. Either Zach tries to humiliate you by asking you awful questions, or we make you say something bad or weird or different or new, and then we don't get you any time to explain it and kick you off.
Speaking of, Mary Sleep with Kill, me, Beckley, Ethan.
That's a non-starter. All of that is a non-starter. I'm just not even going to answer this question.
I'm a terrific homemaker, but whatever. All right, Zach.
I'm a terrible
man, and make sure you read his work. It's been just awesome in the last few months over this.
Adios, guys.
Thanks, Zach.